Friday, the 12th of July. Just got back from a few days being gone. It was not able to do anything on Tuesday, but Tuesday was a pretty docile day anyway. There wasn't a lot being offered as far as market information. The market was actually holding very steady all week long. And then we get into the end of the week, yesterday with CPI, which was actually significantly, I mean, it was quite a bit lower than what they anticipated it to be, which is very interesting to consider the lower reading that they're getting. So it's lower than anticipated. So it's not necessarily as it mean inflation is really going down that much. It's actually going down less than they thought it would, or not going as high as they thought it would. Still continue to go up, still more than their 2%. The core inflation or CPI reading that they're getting also showed slightly lower. So you got the CPI itself anticipated to go by 0.1%. It showed that it went down, went negative by 0.1%, which is actually 0.2 difference. We'll see what the actual revision comes out at when it does. The core CPI was anticipated to go by 0.2, went down, would actually went up only by 0.1. So we have a 0.1% swing there, enough to have influenced the mortgage-backed securities to improve. Then we've got our producer price index today, showing that actually went up. So those costs went up both on the core, the regular reading and the core reading. Core reading actually went up, instead of anticipation of 0.1%, went up 0.4. So this is kind of a twist in the two directions, if you will. Also showing that consumer sentiment per the University of Michigan went down by 0.1%, meaning consumers don't feel as confident as they had in the past about what's happening out in the economy. So another thing that I find interesting, when you go and you take a look at food price inflation has gone out of hand, which we have seen, but also it looks like the readings that they're offering kind of make it seem like it's really not inflating as high as it is. But anybody goes out and goes shopping, you're feeling like it's significantly. And that's the comment on these articles, saying the readings show one thing, but people feel differently. Well, readings are data collected by somebody long distance away versus data collected from the actual individual and how they feel when they're standing at the counter paying for this stuff. You saw recent memes go out where your average family, we talked about it here, who have had to have an $11,000 increase in their income over the last 18 months to support themselves at the grocery store with the same groceries. So I can't really, I don't understand where they're coming up with some of their numbers with respect to that. It's kind of hard to get. Also, another thing, airline tickets up 25%. I'm constantly flying. I'm seeing how they're going up. They said that according to national data, jet fuel has increased nearly 150% in the last year. 150%, more than doubled, 2.5 times the cost in the last 12 months. I'm not sure about the CPI numbers that we're getting and things going down at all. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but it has helped in our MBSs. So let's take a look at these charts, just like we always do, and we can see how that has affected the charts a bit. So I'm going to do a couple different views is what I'm going to do here so we can see different things. So this is the view we've always been taking. This particular line has, this as represented by this purple line here, that has been a pretty formidable level, has attracted things down. We break above it. Look, we held this quite a bit this last week, and then CPI pushed us above. And today with the PPI, we're still hovering high, which I'm a little lost on that particular one, but we'll take it. We'll take it as long as we can. It looks like we're heading right back here. So we've had these downward channels that have been very, very effective and keeping it in there. But some people think, hey, we might be on an upward channel. So let's look at that. This is the exact same chart looking at it from an upward perspective. This being our low point, going to upper channel. But where are we heading? We're heading right to this formidable line, which we know has been literally a brick wall when the mortgage-backed securities were on fire. Hit that brick wall, hit it, and then we went down hard. We could be going right back up towards that. When you have this steep of a climb hits that hard, this gradual climb, I'm anticipating we might see this kind of seesawing back and forth a bit. That's my anticipation. I'm not for certain that it'll go that way, but I believe it could. Now we're also looking at the 6.5 coupon. This is when you're locking those higher interest rates in the 7s. This is what you'll experience. Same thing. We had these downward channels, formidable channels, really kind of on the same trajectory. Should have just moved it. I'll go back to that. So this one, same. We broke out of it, broke above this line just in the last couple of days, heading right back to another formidable line. Now let's look at this as it portrays itself as an upward channel. If that was the case, right back into it. So we will see. Here is also a pretty formidable level on this. We just now getting above it. If we hold today, that might put us up here to play in this area, which we saw where we did here. This played in there and then worked its way back down. It could follow that same pattern. Hard to say exactly what it's going to do because some of these readings that we have, I believe, are a little bit, I can't say how accurate they are. We all know when it comes to these indexes that are followed by Bureau of Labor Statistics and that's being offered out, and they love to revise these when we're not looking. See how it all plays out. But for right now, we'll take everything we can get, take advantage of that for the moment, just to feel that little tiny bit better, maybe a 8%, quarter percent cost better than what you would have otherwise. But when you're talking about a 30-year transaction, you're talking about setting up your family for long-term gains and wealth. Take what you can get, but don't let that be what drives you. Grab what you can grab, Paul. You can grab right now what prices are right there, because this inflation is going to continue to drive the price of housing up. It's not going to change that I can feel. But markets have a way of pulling the rug out from everybody. So thank you. I'll talk to you guys on Tuesday.